Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Chris Legaspi. Thank you for joining me today. Today we are going to do another case study. I'm going to do a little critique, a review of this student's drawing here, the student's homework. And what I want to do in this video is first I'm going to cover what I see in the reference compared to the student's drawing. And then I'm going to do a tracing over the drawing so you can see some refinements that I would make. And then at the end of this video, I will show you how I would handle the pose and what you can do to make your head drawings and your constructions a bit sharper, cleaner, and tighter. And before we begin, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my free Insiders Club. Insiders Club members get first access to these weekly live streams, and you also get access to other live events, and you get discounts on courses and programs, along with access to free lessons and other free content available only to subscribers. So all you have to do is go to www.drawwithchris.com, and there you can enter your email and you'll be good to go. All right, let's begin by quickly analyzing the model. So I'm going to show you what I see. That's the first thing I see. Shape, and that is the nature of the thing. And basically that means, is it eggy, boxy, or angular? And what kind of eggy box? Is it this kind? Is it this kind? Is it wide? Is it square? Is it like this? Is it like that? So that's typically, how I think of the shape of the face, the outer shape, and the general nature. When I look at this model, I clearly see, if we look at the top, we look at the bottom, I clearly see a very long and thin. See, her contour is here, the bottom of her chin is here, the edge of her face is there, and even her skull is here. So she's quite long, and I'm guessing she's very tall. She has a long neck. This is probably a model, like a proper fashion model. So she's probably also quite tall and thin, just based on her bone structure and other clues that I can see in her body. But anyway, long and tall. That's what I see. Long and tall. So if we look at this, we can see that it's quite eggy and square. Eggy, and it's too square. It's not long enough. It's not long enough. So right away, we need to address that. So address the nature. And then we could also, once we address the nature, then we can address secondary things like the overall width. That's another part of the shape. So if we look at this shape, if we look at her width, right, from this corner of her eye to the cranium, even to the face, corner of the eye to the ear, right, it's quite narrow, you see? See over here, look how much distance there is right here. So right away, the width, we need, it's basically a rectangle. So we need to adjust the width and the height. And then once we have that, then we can move the features and place everything in the right order. Because really, that's the fundamental thing I see. This artist here, this drawing here is very, very good in terms of the line work and the process. So the process, this artist here, she did a wonderful job. She nailed the process. She understands what needs to be done. So what we're going to do is first refine, and we're going to start with the shape. So now let's review. I'm going to do a draw over of this drawing here to see how we can make it better. Okay, I'm going to do a tracing here. Let's take a look at what I see. So number one, the nature. Remember the nature and the shape. Generally long. So I'm just going to lengthen everything and basically squish it, you see? So it's already kind of squished. See that? It's kind of squished. Because this is what I'm after. Remember, this is what we're after. long rectangle. So we got that. Now let's place the eye line. I believe it's a little too low. Typically is. Yeah, it is. She has a very small forehead. So this is the eye line that I see. This is the brow line. What's the eye line that I see? Let's do that. Center line is good. Very good. Very, very good. So brow. Just going to give myself a little bit of indication where the brow is. Bottom of the nose. Muzzle. Just indicate it real quick. Now what I want to do is adjust the shape to make sure I have the right shape. So a little bump of the cheekbone. It's just a guess for now. That tapering angle, she did well. But it's just a matter of lengthening everything. Now it feels a lot longer and nicer. Bring this jaw back. So the angles are pretty good, actually. You can see the angles of her jaw were very good. And then let's get these eyes. I needed that contour so I can better refine the eyes. So you see, eye line is a little too low. Even mine might still be a little low. So the eye's looking good so far. Let's indicate that hairline right there. Just need a little notch to know where it is. And then let's bring it back down. And then I'm going to compare this distance right here. Compare this distance right here. This shape, this passage right here with right here. So I'm pretty close. And I need that. So it's form, but it's also will help me to gauge this, which is exactly the thing that I want the most. I need to know where this is. So based on this shape comparison, that's what I'm doing here. I know I'm pretty good, feel pretty good about that. Where's the bottom of the ear relative to the face? It's pretty close to the bottom of the nose. The top is pretty close to between the eye line and the top of the eyeballs, basically. So we know, so that's roughly where the ear should go, right here. Boom. And give my ear a little bit of depth, just so I have some clarity. I'm not going to draw the ear, I just want to give it a basic construction there, just so I know what's going on. All right, so we got that. Her rhythm of the cheek is excellent. Very well drawn. She's been working very hard on that, so I'm very happy to see that. It's correct. Let's flesh out the lips and the mouth now. So my original muzzle rhythm here, another secondary muzzle rhythm, just gives me the confidence to know that my lips will most likely be in the right place. So I'm making sure that the distance here, paying attention to this distance, is very, very important in the placement. Remember, the features really only look good when you place them in the right place. If you draw perfect features, but they're in the wrong place or in the wrong position, of course the drawing will look terrible. No matter how many, if you spend 200 hours on rendering lips, but they're in the wrong place in the wrong position, of course that's not good. We don't want that. So that is pretty much it, my friends. Let me just quickly flesh out the eye opening. Just to give it a little bit more oomph. Kind of puff out the hair a little bit relative to her skull. Give her a little bit of hair depth. Then I think we are in pretty good shape as far as this study goes. Look at this distance between the ear. So you see that distance lets me know that she is very long. And that reminds me to keep my drawing long. This beautiful neck rhythm that this wonderful artist gave to us is accurate. And then just filling out the rest of the drawing, neck and shoulders. something like that. So that is pretty good, my friend. So that is a good um, that is a good sign. You see, everything's in order, like I mentioned earlier, but it just needs refinement. You know, the shape obviously was the big one. Once we refine the shape, then we refine the position of the things, and then we can continue with the construction process that this young student clearly has down. So this is wonderful. All right, now that we have our drawing, I'm just going to flesh it out a little bit. I have the reference next to me so I can compare. But now you can see how close the original was. Very well drawn. Just like I said, the main thing was the shape. And even now, I have some refinement to do as well. Let's see. I think overall I'm happy. So how I would approach the rest of this drawing is basically refine the construction that I did now, maybe add some subtle nuance. We're still in line mode. Add some subtle nuance. Add some subtle secondary details like the nostril. Now that I have confidence in my construction, I can start to think about these things. I know you're watching this, you're probably tempted to do some shading because that is such a beautiful reference. But I'm going to try my best not to do that. So I notice her chin is a bit wide. So we can taper that in a little bit. And you see it's already starting to really take shape. The lighting will help a lot with the overall quality, but I don't think we'll need to do that in this particular lesson, but that's what I would do. So we'll close with that. If I do hair detail, I'll make sure to wrap. You see how important the direction of these strokes are, especially in the hair. If I were to add hair detail later, make sure to do that. Double check the ear, double check the tapering of the brow right here. Make sure it all kind of connects, and make sure that this corner that this artist did so beautifully. I'm very proud because this is a difficult corner, but she nailed it, so it's correct. Make sure it matches over here, and that's pretty much it. As long as this kind of lines up, it's pretty close, you know. We can refine it here or there, but overall it's pretty close. And we definitely need lighting to see what would be next. But that's it. As far as a lay-in, a construction drawing, like a first stage, fundamental construction portrait drawing, this is a wonderful, wonderful example. And this is it. This is sort of my model when I approach a head drawing, a portrait, is by doing this level of construction, because now everything is in the right place. All the shapes, the features, the placement, size, length, width, all the planes are described correctly. So now we can get to the fun stuff that everybody wants to skip to. Here we go, and we'll close with this. Thank you for watching, my friends. I appreciate you. Make sure to check out my free email newsletter on my website, www.drawwithchris.com. I got lots of free resources, and if you want to work with me, you can learn about it as well on my website. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.